Okay, so now I'm gonna do a quick summary of Dragonflight Fragile talents and kind of what I think is the issue with them, alright? So, I'll like say some general things first, okay? And I think Guilty's tweet is pretty correct in this. So why do other specs get the ability ranks baked back in talents in Dragonflight, but Feral has to spend talent points for them, right? Kind of like this. Let's say on live, right? On live, Fury restores 50 energy. What they did in Dragonflight, they made Fury only restore 20 energy, and it got to spend 3 points to make it spend, or to make it restore, rather, 50 energy, right? So basically, they just like took the talents, made it worse, and made you spend 4 points to get what Fury already is baseline. And this is kind of similar, let's say also on Survival Instincts, right? Let's compare it to Rogues. Rogues get Vanish baseline, and they can spec to get one more charge of Vanish. While Foul Druids, with Wall, you gotta spec to even get it at all. Instead of, for example, let's say you could spec, you get a baseline, then you can spec to like make it maybe like a bit smaller cooldown, make it do whatever, make 2 stacks, whatever it might be. Maybe not 2 stacks, that'd be kind of strong with skin, but... So like that's one big issue in general, and I think this kind of goes through the whole talent tree in different ways. One more issue I have is, you know, Berserk. Berserk doesn't do anything really. Like, Berserk without Sickle, until we got Sickle in Season 4, it, like, never really did anything, with Forset. So, like, what they've done now, they pretty much just have, like, 3 different Circs that all, like, pretty much do nothing on their own. Doesn't do very much. I think what they should do, like, a pretty quick fix to make it more interesting is you take the Circs, smack them together, make them 1 talent. You know, the placement, maybe, I don't know, somewhere in this area probably. I don't know. The placement, you know, could be debated, but do that, and then you open up 2 more slots, you know, and there, I would do something like this. For example, Feral Instinct, Berserk increases all damage you deal by 15% for 15 seconds. 3 spec, 3 rank. I think this one I would put right here, though, instead of Sudden Ambush. You could add Iron Jaws, for example, too. I think a good placement for Iron Jaws. We find the conduits. Right here, the main conduit would be good placement right here, kind of down the single target kind of section, and it would be on the end, so PvEers don't have to pick it, but it's there if you want to go like single targets where your main can do damage too, and that will open up because you smack the swords together. So I think that would be a huge thing. And then you could add, like, you know, there's so many cool things like that Druids could have, and can have that they could add. So yeah, like smack swords together will open up a few more spots, and I think that'd be good. I think Sickle will be sick. Symbiosis could be cool too, yeah. But so I mean, there's like a lot you can get into. I think also it's like Draft. Think about Draft and Circle, like they're pretty good, but they're both quite limiting in the way they work, right? Like Draft, you lose, you don't lose that much, but you do, like, your bleeds do less damage if they're on 2 targets. Like, kind of takes away from cleaving. Circle, your bleeds just fade off, so it kind of takes away from cleaving. So like these two, like the legendaries effects, like both of them are quite limiting in just the way they work. But that's not the worst problem here at all. I think what I talked about first is like the biggest problem. I think I'm just gonna like cover some things now, but yeah, I think also on this choice node, like Bash and Roar, I think this would just be way better if they just kind of did it like it is now, and they do Bash or Heart of the Wild instead. I think Bash Roar is like not really an optimal choice you have to make. I think you should have both, like you do now. So I think like have Bash Heart of the Wild here. I think it's like a more fulfilling choice to make. I feel like this choice is like not as nice, doesn't feel as good to make. And then you add like Roar somewhere down here with the bear form stuff where it should be, I'd say. And that would leave you with a different thing, because I also think like one, wait, can you guys even see this right here? Because my camera might be in the way. Yeah, so we have Fur down here. Wait, hold up. Boom. So we have Fur down here, yeah? Heart of the Wild and Nature's Vigil. So let's say they put Heart here instead in this choice node, and you put this one somewhere here. I feel like one issue is like the bottom rows, pretty much all of these, like don't they're not like really something you want to go for. So I would say you put Heart of Wild here, and then you add maybe just, you know, fire something out, maybe Symbiosis down here, or like something cool and interesting. I would say. Vigil. The problem with Vigil's like going through a lot of this to get there. I mean, Innervate is nice, but yeah, like this right here. But maybe sometimes. But yeah, so overall, I think also just like, here's one more issue. Like, you know, this is the thing where it's not really about choice. Just like, you just lose Hibernate. Like, you're never going to get Hibernates. You're never going to go through Boomy form to get to Hibernate. And Hibernate is currently baseline. And the end result is you just lose you lose utility. Even though it doesn't really matter. Like, Hibernate's not really all that, like, insane. But the end result is you just lose something that was fun to have, right? For no reason, really. Because you have to go through, like, something you really don't want to get there. Yeah. So I feel like some more things should be baseline. Of course, I'm a Feral main. I'll say, like, you know, give everything baseline, but actually, like, something should be baseline, I think, yeah. There's like Undead Pet. Well, I mean, it can also be that it's like a fun to have versus Restor, for example. Like, let's say a Restor is like sitting bear form, and he doesn't want you to go. And we can cast Hibernate. Either he swaps out of form, and you go him, or he tags Hibernate, and then he can swap. It's just like something fun to have. It's just like, yeah, but it's like not that crazy, but it's like nice utility to have. So yeah, like overall, that's what I say. Definitely some big problems. There's probably more I mean, there's definitely more I could get into here, but I think for a quick summary, I think if I miss anything though, I mean, I can actually say some positive. Like, there are positives. I think like you being able to have friends with regen and the rest of heals at the same time is pretty cool. You know, because right now I can only have, you know, regen or the heals. Rogues get 2 vanish, yeah. They do. No clone, yeah. I mean, I also have a clone build. Like here. But yeah, man. But yeah, also, like, yeah, fur, like, this thing is just not really good either. I feel like on the last row, there should be, like, some better stuff. Yeah. I guess overall, it just feels quite, recycled with not much thought put into it. And they kind of just, like, take some things. I think perfect example is Fury. They take something you have, and they just split it into 2 things, like 2 different talent now, and where like one is like a 3-point node. Sudden Ambush 2, very like bad conduit. No one like uses Sudden Ambush currently on live, like the conduits, and now it's a 3-point node that you have to go through. I think if you're gonna have like a 3-point node you have to go through, it should be like pretty good like universally, which is why I think they should have Feral Instinct here, which is like every talent, every point makes your Zerg do 5% more damage. I think it's like something, I forget what it was before. I think it was a talent before in Legion or something. And it would like increase your damage 5% per point on Zerg, so 15%. So Zerg actually does something. Yeah. But the thing is, like, Feral is looking strong. Like, I think this build right here is strong. Like, this is a good build that is going to be very viable. But, like, having this kind of talent tree just, like, loses its meaning when you don't really feel like you have a choice to pick anything. It's just, like, it's just kind of lame. But, yeah. I mean, yeah, this was, like, more. I mean, definitely, like, also, like, specking Prime Wrath, just, like, you're never going to use it. Swipe. Like, you just have to kind of pick them. And, like, you're literally never going to press that ability in Arena ever. Or, like, in general as well. But, you know, got to think about PvEers too. But, yeah. So, that's a bit tougher. Like, I think those things, like, could be better placed and everything. But they're, like, far from the main issue, to be honest. In my opinion. I think the things we talked about first are what matters the most. Like,